Check, 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 checkity, check, check, check. Czechoslovakian. Check, check. All right. No clue if anybody's going to show up for this. I usually just kind of start these and see what happens. So I did start doing some editing last night after my other live stream, and I've got a little bit of the song already lined up and kind of in progress. Let's take a listen and see where we've got, and I may have to do some minor edits to what I've got so far, but I'll need to refresh my memory and see where we left off. My voice is a little bit shot, so I may not talk as much as you might like for me to. Or maybe you don't want me to talk. Let's listen to some music. I think I heard a little something right in there that was like a hat hit or something that may have been a little bit out of place. Let me go back and review that. Yeah, I think I just hit the hat twice is what it amounts to. Make sure that last snare transient was in line. Now, I don't have much of an agenda today other than just getting this stuff done, so if you've got questions, feel free to throw them up in chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of keep editing relatively silently. Oh, side note, let me know if the audio is okay, because I can't hear what you hear. I'm going to boost the output just a little bit. Guys, let me know if this is too loud, too quiet, too whatever. I'm trying to find a nice happy medium. I don't think I can boost it a whole heck of a lot, but let's try that. Not 100% sure, but I think I may have heard an anomaly there, so I'm going to go back and just double check it. Sounds like maybe one of my snares is off time a little bit, and it does look like this here is ever so slightly off. And if that one is off, of course, it's going to throw off the relationship of the others, and my final snare is off too. So I shall slip edit that. I was pretty light-handed in this and didn't chop this up. I just wanted to make sure those snare hits were in time and that this passage was relatively in time with itself, so I'll review that again. Sorry, my grouping wasn't working properly. Looks like it is now. I don't know how I missed that, but my kick transient going into the next section was off. I wonder if maybe that's where I stopped. No, I still got some cuts downstream, so go figure. This is misbehaving a bit. There we go. Make sure that feels good, because that kick was definitely off a bit. Excuse me. Can tell I was tired last night. I've made a lot of careless mistakes in here that I'm spotting right away now. And they're small ones, but they're ones that I'm hearing. Take that crossfade back just a bit. Now right there, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the vocals may be off a bit. I'm spot on as far as the grid goes. Yeah, it sounds like there's a discrepancy between the instrumentation and the vocals there, but the backing track is one track, so I can't adjust that. I'll just have to make a note of it and let the guitarist who's actually doing all the mixing for this, let him check it on his side. That's still bugging me though, and I want to change my grid to 16ths to make sure that some of my other hits are correct. Like here, my snare is off a bit. And of course, fixing that pushes the kick off a bit. Always a lot of push-pull in this. Yeah, some of my 16ths on the snare are a little bit off there. Just fixing those so that the relationship's correct. I think I like that one a little bit earlier. Alright, so it looks like I stopped right about there last night. So we are into uncharted territory, and we'll start editing this fresh. I'll go through the interlude here fairly quickly. If you guys have got any questions, just feel free to post them in the chat. Otherwise, I am mostly just going to be probably fairly quiet. As you can hear, my voice is a little bit wonky at the moment. Uh, who we got here? What's up, man? It's been a while. Hope all is well south of me. I'm like all out of words today. So, Nicholas, I don't know how much you've kind of been following what's happened with me, but my previous band, Midlife Riot, we are sadly no more. Nothing bad happened. It's just that the drummer has a pretty demanding job and just doesn't have the time to devote to it anymore. So I'm currently playing drums for a doom band. I do still want to what's the word? I do still want to do more things with the Midwest emo type of stuff that I was doing before. I've got plenty of songs left in me. I'll just have to do them on my own as time allows. I can't say I've ever really been into doom, but I was filming for a festival last year and really liked the some of the bands that I was seeing, and then I found an ad online for a local band that was looking for a drummer, and I just figured I'd give it a try. So I've really enjoyed it. It's a little bit different, and I think the thing for me is they're not so strict that I have to strictly play doom style, but I'm able to incorporate some of the things that I like some of the prog, polyrhythms, and Midwest emo type of stuff, and somehow manage to make it work in the realm of doom music. And it seems like the doom community is eating it up. Now, I've not listened to any of this. I've just kind of been looking at it and doing it by eye. So, wait, I've got another comment here. Let's see here. I will probably not pronounce that correctly, so let's just say I see you and thank you for the compliment. Or for the comment, or whatever the word is. My English is failing me today as well. Let's see how this interlude is sounding up until this point. Okay, so that's where I left off. Let's see if we can finish up this interlude. Doesn't need a lot. I mean, I'm not a human metronome by any stretch of the imagination, but I do tend to stay pretty well in time with myself. Sometimes I'll try to do things that are not necessarily outside of my ability, but they're things that I may not be the strongest at, and that's where this editing comes in. I do more than well enough to play a live set, but of course, for a recording, you want things to be, despite it being Doom, you want it to be as polished and professional as you can. And this little bit of slip editing goes a long way. Ooh, I was way off right there. Yeah, long stretches there. I was having some trouble hearing when I was recording yesterday. I was wearing my in-ears, but they don't seal off perfectly. And I had the metronome blaring in my ear to the point of tinnitus. So let me check my phone here real quick and put this in silent mode. But yeah, I think I'm going to start using like the shotgun type of hearing protection on top of my in-ears. That way I can hear the metronome but not have to turn it up to a level that's deafening to me. My ears are a little bit too sensitive, I guess. Yellen? Gotcha. See, I figured that I would not even try for fear of butchering it, and some people get really offended when you can't pronounce things right. And whoops, me having reading difficulty and just sometimes seeing letters backwards and stuff, I don't trust what I see half the time. Yeah, and that's one thing. Like for me, when I'm drumming, I don't like to have drums in my in ear. I don't need to hear them at all. I feel like I can hear them well enough. I don't expect to hear things in my ear as if it was a completed mix. I just need the metronome for reference and a little bit of the band just to keep up with where I am. But I mean, my job is to keep time. I know a lot of drummers who like to have a lot of the drums in the ear, and I guess it's for feel. But I guess I'm odd in that I don't really want that. I want to be able to hear when everything is done, and I just want to do my job and go home. I'm moving through this really slow, but I'm also tired. I'm hoping to get this done before the guys get here for band practice, which is in, I got a couple hours, so that's plenty of time, just depending on how much I talk. And for those of you who may be new to this, I've got my drums grouped at the track level, so any cuts that I make and any movements that I make are happening across the board. So all of my tracks are being moved at the same time. I've already done my comp. I played 5 full passes through the song, and sometimes I'll do that, like a lot of takes like that, if I'm not sure what I want to play yet, which was the case with this song. And now that I've got a good comp, and I didn't do like huge variations, but I did some minor variations each playthrough. And now that I've got a comp that I like, I'll just memorize the song and start playing it that way. This one was a little tough one for me to come up with a composition. So being able to hear the different variations and then piece something together helped me greatly. I had something that I wanted to do with some triplet kick patterns, but I couldn't pull it off cleanly enough to do it reliably. So I ended up simplifying my kick pattern on the interludes. And it turns out that simplification worked really well. I like all the wide open space that this song has, particularly at the end. And I think this is becoming one of my favorites that we've done so far. There's some interesting modulations at the end with some, not key changes, but what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with an A. Augmentations or something. Welcome back. Now, Hellstrom, you got to tell me who you are, because I think you may be somebody else that I know who lives in Leeds, UK, but you may not be. So just let me know in the comments, do we know each other for real? Augmented may not even be the right word. It's just like they maybe modulate. They step up like a half step, kind of like the theme song to Halloween. How that does like half step increments a couple times. It's like the same riff but done a half step higher and then a half step lower. Okay, so Hellstrom, you are not Luke Hellstrip. That was what I was wondering. Sweden. That makes me wonder, what time is it in Sweden? It is currently 1:57 p.m. where I live. I feel like you're pulling an all-nighter with me. I think you were here for both streams yesterday. You are one of the true believers. I swear, every time I go to stream, I start coughing and I have to pee. But that's what 7:57 there. You are, my math is not mathing. You are 6 hours ahead of me. You're in the future. I lost track of what I was paying attention to here. Let's see. There we go. I hope I'm getting these right. They look right to me, but I'll spot check them once we get to the end of this section. Well, it was 7 hours ahead until today when we changed our clocks. Excuse me. I need a foot switch to where I can quickly mute this mic if I'm going to cough, but I got to look over at my other screen and mute in OBS. Right. I was tracking drums yesterday, and later on last night, I ended up going in here and comping. And today I'm editing the comp to get to adjust it a little bit for timing. Okay, it looks like that interlude is done. I'm going to back up a little bit further and just start from the beginning and listen to it up until that point. right, we are ready for the next verse if I can stop coughing. Which I guess this verse is going to have to get done whether I cough or not, so. Yeah, that's really not off enough to matter right there, but as long as I'm in here. I have to constantly remind myself to try to work more to the left because I do stuff under the chat window. So if I start getting off screen too much and you guys feel like you need to see something I'm doing, just let me know. Sometimes I miss stuff. I get caught up in the moment. I can't wait to get to the end of this. The ending is my favorite part of this song. I think I explain this just about every time that I do drum editing. There is a method for, let me give myself a little bit more room here. There is a method for doing this mostly automatically, but I just don't like the results. I prefer to do this by hand because I don't want to cut every single thing and make sure that every single note is on grid. I just tend to work in large groups. Ooh, I was way off there. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of some stuff too. Actually, I've got a bass amp that's in the corner that I'm giving away. Somebody's coming to pick it up today. It's got a busted cone in it, and it still works fine so long as you're not running heavy distortion or fuzz through it, and if you don't turn it up really loud. But I mean, I'm not playing bass other than in the computer, so it's just taking. I'm not sure what's up with the internet. This happened a few times yesterday, and I thought it had something to do with my video, but it looks like it's just some spottiness in my internet connectivity. I'm on a gigabit fiber connection, but I don't know, maybe I just need to reboot my mesh network, or maybe the provider's having some trouble. But that's the first time today, so we'll just keep working through this. Seems to only happen for a few seconds at a time and not very often, so. Actually, yesterday was the first I've ever seen it happen. I'm sorry I keep coughing in your ears, guys. The heck did I do here? This section seems forever long when you're editing, but it's really short. Okay, that's getting us to the chorus. So I've got this triplet fill, which I'm just going to get the snare hits in line and then kind of see how it feels after that. Yep. Let's test that. That passage sounded pretty good to me. I think I may have heard a few little things here and there. Matter of fact, I'm seeing some now. See if we can get that ride hit right in line and test that. Much better. Now let's get through this chorus. I think I'm going to switch back to my eighth notes here so I don't get too distracted on this grid. Nah, I'm not worried about saving. I've got this set to where it's doing automatic backups like every few minutes. So if I check my project folder, looks like my last backup was 1 minute ago. So it looks like I've got it set to do an automatic backup time stamped every 5 minutes. Goodness, that cough is nasty. Almost as nasty as the fuzz on the guitars. Goodness, my allergies are just killing today. You guys didn't know that you were joining me to hear me whine about medical issues. I think it is Hypercoven a pedal. On the stream yesterday, my guitarist was on the stream and he was answering questions about what he uses for his tone. I think it's Hypercoven is the word that's coming to mind. Oh my goodness. I swear I was fine until the second I started streaming. And now I'm sitting here crying while I'm editing because my eyes won't stop watering. I can't stop coughing. But we're going to do this. That passage is looking pretty good. Mistakes were made here for sure. Gonna have to listen to that part, I think. Or, no, I can just base it off of this section here. Yeah, that does sound like some old Under Oath, doesn't it? Excuse me. I should have muted for that one. I'm sorry. The world's most polite metal musician. Life's too short to be rude to people. I'm thinking the sections after this should be pretty easy because it's lots of wide open spaces and droning type of stuff. And when you see me cutting up here where it looks like there's nothing to move, I'm focusing on my ride spot mic here. And I just saw that that was a little off time. So I can cut anywhere and all of the drums will move at once. So I try to keep my mouse in the same relative position just to be a bit more efficient. But if I see something that's a little bit out, like right there, I just move this ride hit into place. A few milliseconds off on each one of those. I still play everything in standard. I used to drop tune a lot. Now, this is not me playing guitar on this, but in my previous life, and even still now, I do. I just got to where I do things in standard, and I've found ways to make things heavy just through composition more so than tuning. I like doing a lot of stuff that's like animals as leaders mixed with some tiny moving parts. Really into a lot of the tappy kind of melodic stuff. Coughing fit in 3. Got that mute button that time. A smarter me would set my phone up with that. Like I've got an app on my phone that kind of mimics a Stream Deck. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Stream Control, but it works with OBS through webhooks. It works nicely. With the exception of the fact that it ties up your phone for a bit, but I mean, I'm not talking on the phone right now, obviously. That he is. I've been working on that thump technique, and it's taken me some time, but I'm finally getting it. I think the trick, what really helped me with the thump, is placing my hand like I'm holding a pick, but except I usually, let me switch my camera for a second. Typically, when I'm playing with fingers, but if I am using a pick, it's more like fingertip to thumb. But if I hold it more like some other people do, like thumb to middle knuckle, that puts my thumb and my finger in the perfect position to thump down, thump up, and as I'm coming up, that finger will pluck up on the other string as well. So getting those triplet thump techniques, it's going to take me some time to perfect it, but we are getting closer and closer every time I practice. I swear this section seems like it's endless. Gosh, once I get to the next section, I feel like I can probably set my grid to whole notes. I see we are coming up on that interlude. All right, let's test this. Whoops. Don't know what I just did. Go back in time there for a second. Yeah, and when you figure out how to hold your hand just right, that thumb position's not as bad as it seems. I think the biggest problem is that most of the time that you see Tosin doing it, you can't see the underside of his hand. If they ask me to, I don't really market myself for doing this. I've got all this equipment and stuff in the rack here, but excuse me, this is where I live, so I'm really cautious who I bring into my home for recording. I did have a band hit me up this past week about recording some stuff for them, and they are people that I know, so probably. I have done some projects here in the past, but it just depends on how comfortable I am with the person. I'm going to mute my mic again so I can cough, and I'm going to play this section back. Okay, right there, as we transition into this section, I don't know if you heard it, but there's a crossfade that needs some adjusting. You can hear a little bit of phasiness in the cymbals as I go from one take to the next. Let's see. I want to see what happens if I paint this over further and use part of that take instead, so it's more natural. Same thing, though. Let's keep... Whoops. I'm about to break something, but... Yeah, it did, and that's what I'm attempting to fix now. It's in this. The thing that I'm hearing is in the cymbals because I hit the cymbals differently there. So I may have to use this other take more than I had intended to initially. We gonna get it. That worked. Just needed to get enough of the other part to let that cymbal naturally finish. Okay, this part should be really easy. And it may even be in time. Well, nope. Slightly off. But it's a very simple part. Yeah, that the delay is throwing me. So paying more attention in OBS than I am in YouTube, because your comments show up faster for me in OBS. I'm excited to get this part finished up because it just gets so disgusting. Sounds like my wife is in the other room doing the same thing with the grunting. It's weird. It's kind of hard to play this slow sometimes, particularly when I switch to like a double halftime, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the second part of the interlude. Let's go back and check this for accuracy. We'll play a little bit of the chorus leading up to it. I'm going to let this play out and then we'll go ahead and edit. I'm seeing the need to add a spot mic to my China. Let's get this last little bit lined up, then we'll spot check from front to back and listen for anomalies. I tend to do that as I'm editing, but I also like to go back and listen to it again in full context, because Sometimes you hear things in one pass that you didn't hear the last time. And listening to that last section completely unedited, it sounded really good, but still I want to clean it up as much as I can. Jameson, it has been a while, good sir. I have been a ghost. Seems like you've attended enough of these sessions to teach drum editing. We are in the home stretch here. 3 hours later. It's like long time listener, first time caller. The heck did I do there? I was way off. I'm curious to listen to that section now and see if I just created a glitch. Nope, sounds good. We'll keep going. I'm actually not using Razor editing on this. This is, I've just got my tracks grouped at the track level. And like if you go up to, let me see if I can find that magnifier thing real quick. Give me just a sec. I forget what the key press is for it. Next. Okay, done. What is this? Oh, right there. Okay. So this little guy right here, no, right there. This track media / Razor edit grouping effects items. Goodness, that's terrible. Let me get rid of that. But the long and short of it is I've got my tracks grouped. Instead of grouping the items like I used to do, I group the tracks. That way, no matter how many takes or lanes I've got, since they're grouped at the track level, whatever I cut and move affects all tracks regardless of the items. I've got a video on it somewhere. You may have to kind of dig through, I'm on normal editing mode, wrong button. Dig through YouTube land and find, I've got a video where I show how to set up this track grouping. But I've created a template for my drums. So anytime I want to record, I just load my drum tracking template and all the stuff's already set for me. Saves me a lot of time since I'm running 12 mics. Toucan in the flesh. Had some folks on here talking about you last night in a good way. They shared quite a passion for your plugins. And I ain't gonna lie, I like them a lot myself. You'll have to pry PSP Infinistrip from my cold dead hands. Although your latest creation gives it a run for its money. And it looks like the internet is back. I saw it happen that time, so I just kind of stopped until it came back. Okay, so we're up to the next level of halftime. Let's spot check this. Alright, let's get this sluggish part, or sludgy part, I should say, lined up. And then we'll get that final movement. Whoops. Where that pitch descends even further. I'm kind of curious to maybe do a shootout one day. Hey, John, what is the name of the new plugin? Let me see if I can find a link for it real quick. I'll post it up in the chat there. There we go. That link is just showing John's newest plugin. Yeah, this is the celebrity hangout. Like you've made it into the executive washroom. I remember one time when there was somebody in one of my streams and they were surprised that it's like and I don't use, what am I trying to say? I use this term lightly. It's what other people said, but it's like all of the Reaper royalty knows each other. Reaper royalty. That's weird. I'm really struggling to see some of these waveforms through the tiers. Dang allergies, but we're almost done, so. We're at the final nasty movement. It's such a simple thing. It's just like a step down, but that spot holds a special place in my heart. And I tell people all the time, man, just use what you like and what you're comfortable with, because the listener has no clue, nor do they care what tools we use. It's just like somebody, like if you hire somebody to build a house or work on your car, for example, you don't question them about the tools they use as long as they get the job done. But for some reason, people are always like, well, this DAW is better or that DAW is better. I'm like, they all get music done if they're put in capable hands, and the people focus more on making music than brand identity. I like this because it just makes sense to me. I've tried other things, like I really wanted to like Studio One, but for whatever reason, I could not get my brain to. I think it's because I got spoiled with some of the things in Reaper, but I just couldn't get along with it. So simple things that should make sense, kind of like how in Reaper there is no such thing as a stereo or mono track in the technical sense of the word. It's just you just put whatever the heck you want on a track, and it interprets it. And I like that. Where should that be? I can't see my numbers. I'll have to figure out what this is supposed to be. Should be back a little bit to where that falls on beat 3. There. I need to change the coloring of my ruler up there. I'm having a hard time seeing that. And we are done. All right, let's just take this back to the beginning. I'm going to skip the intro because it's a minute long and it's a clip from some movie or something. But I'll go back to the beginning of where the music actually starts, and let's see how this sounds. to hit this part again. I feel like the room mics need to come up, so I'm just going to manually automate it. That is sounding pretty good. See, I think I want to give it one more pass, and then I will call it a day. I may or may not have heard a few things. I was kind of vibing at some spots and not paying as much attention as I should. So, final pass. If you guys got any questions, kick them up in the comments and see if you can keep me on here longer. That's not good right there. Let's fix it. Looks like I am... Whoops. Looks like I am missing a kick transient here. There we go. I must have accidentally moved that. Heard it that time, though. Yeah, that internet's acting silly. I'm going to go back just a hair and get that interlude because the internet interrupted it. that's about it. I feel like this is as so. Hellstrom, you see what I'm. Whoops. You see what I'm saying now about it. That kick is very sub heavy. Someone asked me on the stream yesterday if I had a sub kick, and no. That's just the way it sounds. And you can see here I'm filtering 60 hertz and below. I'm reducing from about 110 by 3 decibels. Maybe need to do it steeper or more steep, or however you say that. But ultimately, the guitarist is going to mix this, so I'll let him do it as he needs to. I was trying to find a nice balance between the woofiness of the kick and having enough high end to where you can hear it on a cell phone, and it's a delicate balancing act. But at any rate, this coughing is about to kill me, plus I got to go to the bathroom. So thank you guys for... Oh, wait, let's see. We need John's song. John, is that song on your channel? Oh, and Mix Critique on Discord. Let's find it here. All right, let me move this over here, and I need to allow desktop audio on... Well, my bandmates will be here in about 30 minutes for rehearsal, so I'll have to start wrapping it up anyway. I'm going to turn up desktop audio. I got no clue how loud this is going to be, so let's hear what John's song sounds like. So far, it sounds like older Nashville to me.
Busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train. When I was feeling nearly as faded as my jeans, Bobby thumbed the diesel down just before it rained. I rode us all the way to New Orleans.
Is that song coming through? I hope it is.
I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana, and I was playing sad while Bobby sang the blues. Windshield wipers slapping time when I was holding Bobby's hand in mine, and we sang every song that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing ain't worth nothing, honey, but it's free.
This would fit really well around here. I mean, I'm in West Tennessee and equally close. I live between Memphis and Nashville, and this music fits there.
Good enough for me and Bobby McGee.
Of course, I live in the home of Carl Perkins, so this kind of music, like I said, fits really well here.
From the Kentucky coal mines to the California sun, Bobby shared the secrets.
John, I'll have to teach you how to speak Southern.
Through all kinds of weather, through everything we gone, Bobby baby kept me from the cold. One day then near Selena's Lord, I let her slip away. She's looking for that home and I hope she finds it. But I will trade all my tomorrows for one single yesterday, to be holding Bobby's body next to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing, and that's all that Bobby left me. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when she sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee.
Yeah, I would say that this sounds like country, but not like modern country. It's more like a few decades back, in the same vein as, well, I guess it to me, it has more of a rockabilly and old country type of vibe. Like this would fit well in a movie setting, kind of like Smokey and the Bandit, if that makes sense. That organ is a nice touch. I like that. Sounds really well balanced, though. Nice mix on it for sure. You guys got me wondering about this kick. It's like destroying your subwoofers, I'm guessing. I'm kind of curious how much I can get away with removing in the low end. As far as side chaining, I mean, I can experiment with that, but I'm not mixing it. My job was just to record my drums and get them cleaned up and pass them on to Matt. So I'm kind of hitting this with minimal effort. I want to back up a little bit though and see how this sounds, and then I got to go and take a leak. know why I keep typing when I can just talk to you. I'm a right-handed drummer, and my hat sits to my left, but since I am the drummer, I tend to mix from my own perspective because it just sounds weird to me. Now, I do have the stereo pan option in Reaper, so if I need to, just for example, like right now, I've got my width at 100%. If this were like client work and they wanted it inverted, I can just invert the width there, and now it's audience perspective. So let's hear that. Oh, sorry, that was actually my drum monitor track. I did the wrong thing. Let me try that again. Drums. Now it should be inverted. It just sounds wrong to me. I'll put it back the other way. For real this time, I think I'm going to pack it up because I have had way too much water. Thank you guys and girls for hanging out today, and we will catch you next time.